from the team on your side. This is 6 News, first at 5.
And first at 5, Tropical Storm Faye is taking
Winter wow at Sofa Express with 36 months free financing. That's 3 years, 0% interest. 1,095 days without a penny of interest. 26,280 hours. Okay, you get the idea. Factory direct savings throughout the store and 36 months free financing. Wow, winter wow, only at Sofa Express. Here today, home tomorrow.
Next on News 8.
IPD's mobile crime lab is still in the scene on the east side. I'll tell you why they're here and what they're looking for in a live report.
Indiana schools are getting special training on how to handle safety threats after 2 elementary students are found with guns.
Efforts to amend Indiana's constitution to prohibit same-sex marriage are moving forward at the State House.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 9th. It is a messy morning out there, but salt crews have been out all night trying to make it a little easier for you to get out today.
Yeah, we noticed that. There was salt on all the streets, and now there's plenty of stuff that the salt's going to start trying to melt, huh, Rain? It depends where you're at, I guess, right?
Yeah, it really is. We have everything going on. In fact, let's just go to a Forecast 8 Viper right now. The snow machine here kind of pinpoint where it's snowing, where it's sleeting and freezing rain coming down. At the airport right now, 32 degrees and freezing rain. But we see the blue on the map, that is plain old snow. It has been snowing pretty good up around Lafayette. We'll kind of zoom in up north here, and you can see Lafayette, some moderate snow. And they may get a quick burst of an inch or 2 of snow up north there. You can see the snow extending over to around Kokomo area. Muncie had a mixture. Muncie has now changed over to all moderate snow as well. So I think from Lafayette, Kokomo, perhaps Tipton, Muncie areas north, a quick 1 to 2 inches of snow. But where you see the pink on the map, that's a combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. And further south, just plain old rain. As cold air comes down, though, that will start to change over to all snow here in the city. Right now here in Marion County, probably under an inch of snow, especially on grassy spots. Let's go to the computer. We'll show you some of the numbers here. Very critical. Crawfordsville 32, Lafayette 26, 30 Muncie, 31 in Noblesville, and downtown at Wish TV 32 degrees. You get down around Bloomington and Columbus area, and the temperature right now at 36. So our first forecast here today, 8 o'clock this morning, a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow out there. Temperature right around 32. By noontime, it should change over to all light snow. Noon temperature 31. And 4 o'clock here, some flurries and cold. The 4 o'clock temperature right around 32 degrees. Dave and Joy will show you we'll break down the snowfall potential map. Again, not a major storm, but do allow yourself some extra time here as some of the roadways here are on the slushy side.
You bet. Thanks very much, Rand. 5:32, and Indianapolis police continued their investigation into a possible triple murder this morning. Investigators say they have found human remains on the far east side.
News 8's Gene Rodriguez joins us live from that house on Linwood Avenue with more on this investigation. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, Dave and Joy. This is a scene that has been cordoned off for several hours now. This all started yesterday afternoon, and as you can see, police are still on the scene. The IPD mobile crime unit is parked right next door to the home. They're looking for 3 bodies, that of Leander and Betty Bradley, as well as Sharon Allen. Late Tuesday afternoon, police combed through Betty and Lee Bradley's home on Linwood Avenue looking for any evidence or even bodies. Neighbors watched as cadaver dogs and special radar equipment helped in the search for the remains and evidence. Neighbors say that they hadn't seen the elderly couple in months, but had seen the couple's grandchildren, 18-year-old Carrie Allen and her brother, 29-year-old Kenneth Allen Jr., walking in and out of the house. Now the 2 are in police custody in Missouri. Missouri police stopped Kenneth Allen Jr. and Carrie Allen for speeding. That traffic stop led police to this home.
He located some items in the car that led him to this address. Checks, credit cards with names that were not of the people in the vehicle. Female half is giving us all the information. She has stated that their mother and their grandmother, they killed them in Noblesville, at a house in Noblesville, actually brought the bodies here, killed the grandfather, and then buried them all in the basement.
Detectives have also combed through a Noblesville apartment where Carrie Allen lived with her mother. Police have already walked through the home to make sure that there are no bodies there, but they wait for a search warrant to collect potential evidence. Later this morning, we expect to see some police officers here at the scene combing through this home as well, and some anthropologists as well to identify the remains and to make sure that they are human remains. Police are saying that they did find something, and they're trying to figure out exactly what it is. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Jean Rodriguez, live on the east side. Thank you.
Those who lived on Linwood Avenue were shocked to hear what happened to Betty and Lee Bradley.
I don't know, but it's just sad.
What do you think of this?
I think it's terrible.
I think it's tragic, but I mean, what can you really say when you know people like this for that long, and for something tragic like this to happen? I don't think there are right words to describe.
I talk to her all the time. We give her tomatoes and stuff like that, and I'd go to the fence and we'd talk. She was always outside doing gardening.
Neighbors say the Bradleys lived in their home for at least 30 years, and you could always see Betty smiling as she worked in her yard.
2 guns in 2 Marion County elementary schools. One an unloaded handgun, the other a pellet gun. Those 2 discoveries from Monday have officials concerned about the increase of threats in schools.
This case started with a threat, and then 3 days or so after the threat, this student is found with the handgun at school. So it's an example of we as a system and the school systems always have to take a serious look when there are verbal or written threats.
Scott Eels is acting director of the Indiana School Safety Specialist Academy. He says the academy is aggressively training schools about threats and weapons. But despite the appearance of an increase in school threats, statistics indicate fewer weapons are brought to schools than a decade ago.
A constitutional amendment banning same-sex marriage wins approval in a state Senate committee. Its next stop now, the full Senate. The amendment would define marriage as the union between one man and one woman. There was emotional testimony on both sides of the issue.
My story, along with the numerous individuals that I have ministered to and have experienced the same kind of transformation, are living proof that homosexuality is changeable and that we don't need to change the definition of marriage to meet the demands of a select few.
Today, in Iraq, gays and lesbians are among those who are giving their lives fighting for freedom. What kind of freedom do we have a right to expect here?
It passed easily a year ago, only to die in the Indiana House, but with Republicans now in control, House passage is anticipated this year. Before the Constitution is amended, though, it must pass a second General Assembly in 2 years and then survive a statewide referendum. A bill that protects cheerleaders is a step closer to becoming law. The state Senate approved legislation that would create safer guidelines for cheerleading. As ITMate exposed last year, cheerleading injuries are on the rise, but it's not a regulated sport. The bill now goes to the House for further consideration.
Mitch Daniels says he's not moving into the official governor's residence on Meridian Street. Daniels cited a report that listed $2.5 million worth of repairs for the English Tudor home built in 1928. It's been the residence for every Indiana governor since Dr. Otis Bowen in the mid-1970s. Instead, Daniels has purchased some land in a gated subdivision in Carmel, and he plans to build a new house there. Daniels says he'll work at the governor's residence, but he doesn't expect to live there full-time. An Indiana Guardsman with a Purple Heart could face a court-martial.
And a Greenwood police officer is honored for saving lives.
There's a story behind the 7th best-selling album in the nation this week.
You recognize that voice? If you're my age, you've been listening to it for over 35 years. That's coming up on Daybreak.
You work hard to get the things you want, like a remodeled kitchen or a new entertainment room. But how are you going to pay for it? Now wait a minute. Low rates make me want to shop. Shop. Ooh, shop. Yeah, shop. Come on. Shop a little bit lower now. Shop a little bit lower now. Hey. Fifth Third Equity Flex Line. Rates so low you'll want to shop. Working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need.
Hey. Hi. Is this some sort of family meeting?
Then why are we sitting here?
It's called dinner. Together.
Your family deserves a real meal.
How about 9 freshly cooked KFC drumsticks and thighs, 2 large mashed potatoes with gravy, and 4 biscuits for only $9.99? And don't forget the wings. Bring back dinner from KFC.
Hi, Gary Pettigo for Pettigo Chevrolet, and it's tax sale time in Indianapolis, and there's no better time to see why Pettigo Chevrolet is Indiana's #1 GM certified used car dealer. Just take a look at this 2004 Chevy Malibu. Buy it now, tax sale price at $0 down and only $159 a month. Listen again, $0 down and only $159 a month. That's everybody's price, and that's cheap. Remember, that's Pettigo Chevrolet, 5101 West 38th Street, where there's no horsing around.
This portion of the news brought to you by Dad's Pet Foods.
Good morning. It's 5:40 on this Wednesday, February 9th, 32 degrees. A lot of stuff going on. Depending on where you live, you might see rain, sleet, snow, or all of the above. We do have a delay to tell you about. Randolph Central School Corporation in Winchester is on a 2-hour delay, and there's no AM kindergarten. Randy will have more shortly. A leader of the United Nations has bad news about the tsunami recovery. She says donor countries are not providing enough money to cover the needs of survivors.
Tonight, News 8's Eric Holverson resumes his report on his recent visit to the tsunami region. Here's a preview.
It's a problem of promises. The UN Special Tsunami Relief Envoy says the world pledged more than $800 million immediately after the tsunami, but many of those pledges still need to be converted to cash. Tonight at 6, we'll go back to Rome for a look at one of the agencies that so desperately needs that money. This is where the World Food Program coordinates its tsunami relief work from its headquarters in Italy.
WFP is a business. I mean, we're a $2 billion a year business.
The United Nations created the agency to deliver food to the neediest people in the world.
Our customers are people that if we don't deliver the product, they'll die. So the stakes are a lot higher.
Mike Staten of Indianapolis, the WFP's chief of staff, says the agency has had feeding programs in Sri Lanka since 1968. It's also been caring for millions across Africa and other parts of the world. But Staten admits the tsunami was not in the agency's budget. At 6, we'll learn more about what the World Food Program is and how it uses your money. Dave and Joy?
All right, thanks, Eric. We look forward to that. Now, this is where the World Food Program coordinates its tsunami relief work. And Eric, as he said, will tell us about that later. An Indiana National Guardsman who received a Purple Heart now faces charges for the death of an Iraqi citizen. Corporal Dustin Berg of Ferdinand, Indiana, is scheduled to appear in court for a hearing Thursday in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Spokeswoman says the alleged incident occurred in November 2003 south of Baghdad. No details were released. Thursday's hearing is to determine whether the case will proceed to a court-martial. Meanwhile, Baghdad saw another deadly attack on Tuesday. The U.S. military says 21 people died when a suicide bomber set off explosives outside an Iraqi Army recruitment center. At least 16 of the dead were Army recruits. Militants led by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi are claiming responsibility. In Beji, another oil pipeline is sabotaged. Several pipelines have come under attack recently. It is the latest sign that militants are stepping up their assault on Iraq's security forces. The United States wants them to assume a greater role once a newly elected government takes office.
A Greenwood police officer was honored for his work in helping to save the lives of 4 members of a Georgia family. It happened nearly 2 years ago on the Indianapolis South Side. An SUV with 5 people inside went out of control and came to rest in a pond next to I-65. Greenwood officer Richard Kelly helped in getting 4 of the family members out.
He injured his hand, had to have some stitches, got hypothermia, had to be taken to the hospital, but made every attempt, as any police officer would, but went above and beyond by putting his life in danger.
Kelly was given Greenwood's Medal of Honor Tuesday. The 2003 accident took 1 life, but again, 4 people survived.
A British woman is being hailed as a hero.
That's right, and here's Randy.
And weather-wise here, all kinds of weather going on this Wednesday morning. Let's check out Forecast 8 Viper, our snow machine. And here in the city, still a combination of rain, sleet, and snow coming down. However, up north, that is all snow. Just got a call from the Atlanta area, 1.25 inches of snow on the ground. We'll tell you how much more may fall. Our forecast is next.
I'm Wish TV's Eric Halverson. I traveled to Sri Lanka to see how your donations are helping tsunami victims. But when I got there, I discovered this devastation is only a small part of a much larger crisis.
Our customers are people that if we don't deliver the product, they'll die.
The people we traveled with are on the front lines of a battle that takes 25,000 lives every single day. I'll show you how their organization helps and why their ultimate goal is to put themselves out of business. Tonight at 6 on 24-Hour News 8.
Go for the pricey nutritional stuff. Who cares what it costs? Don't spend your hard-earned money on me. Spend the dough. The kids don't need new shoes. Don't throw your money away.
Now you don't have to choose between premium nutrition and a low price. New Dad's dog foods are scientifically formulated to be highly digestible, with 100% of the vitamins and minerals your dog needs.
Good for you. Good for me.
Dad's, nutrition you can trust at a price you can afford.
Hey, Sparky!
Here's big news for homeowners. Empire Today offers warehouse direct prices on brand name carpet. The very same quality brands you see in stores. Call Empire Today and we'll bring samples right to your home. And we'll install your new carpet next day. Plus, make no payments till April 2006. You'll even get a free gift. Save big on carpet the fast, easy, no-hassle way. Call Empire Today. 800-588-2300 Today.
We bought a Chaps designer suit at a department store for $329.99 on sale. At K&G, they're less than half that. K&G, for men, for women, for less.
$185. Now just $185 a month. That's all it takes to own a new Kia Optima during the Ray Skillman Discount Kia Tax Sale. That's $185 to own Optima at the Ray Skillman Discount Kia Tax Sale. Yes, only $185 a month. $239. Now just $239 a month. That's all it takes to drive a new 2005 Kia Sedona during the Ray Skillman Discount Kia Tax Sale. That's $239 a month to drive a new Kia Sedona at the Ray Skillman Discount Kia Tax Sale. Yes, only $239 a month.
It's 5:46. You can't tell from our tower cam here. It's 32 degrees, but boy, there is stuff coming down all over the place. Randy's here to update us on that, on the radar and everything. And Rand, this is just a matter of where you happen to be living at this moment, huh?
Yeah, I just got a call from Steve up in the Atlanta area. About 1.25 inches of snow on the ground here, and we'll check out Viper in just a bit. Let's show you this live shot outside the city's east side here, Dave and Joy. And it's hard to tell what that is. Oh, there goes the kitchen sink right there. At any rate, that is probably rain, sleet, snow. The airport, top of the hour, saying they have some freezing rain coming down. So, you know, the city's pretty well prepared for this here. They had thrown a lot of salt down and chemicals. So hopefully the roads will be mainly wet. But I think if you get north of the city here, that may be another story. As I mentioned, they've had about 1.25 inches of snow across the northern part of Hamilton County. Let's go to forecast date Viper here real quick. And where you see the pink on the map, that's a combination of rain, sleet, snow, some freezing rain coming down. That's plain old snow the farther north you go. Up around Lafayette, they've had some moderate snow going on. Snowing up around Kokomo area. Atlanta is located right about here along the Tipton County, Hamilton County border. And they said they've had about 1.25 inches of snow. So it looks like up north here, again, Lafayette, Kokomo, Muncie area, you'll see a quick 1 to maybe 2 inches of snow. A mix here in the middle part of the state. And this will change over to all snow here as the morning goes by. Let's go ahead to the computer. We'll check out the satellite radar composite. And again, there's our wave. This is a fast-moving wave here. The burst of snow will get out of here later this morning. And then just some light snow showers and flurries later today and tonight. Right now at the airport, freezing rain. 32 degrees, a north wind chill factor 29, and the pressure rising during the past hour. Some other numbers for you here, very critical. Noblesville 31, 32 here, Wish TV, 30 snowing in Muncie, 26. They've had moderate snow up around Lafayette area, and 38 down around Bloomington, 36 in the Columbus vicinity. Now, in forecast day futurecast here, again, 9 o'clock this morning, where you see the pink, that's a combination of rain and snow going on. As cold air comes down, that will change over to all light snow and flurries. Here's a map by noontime today, and likewise, we head through this afternoon. Cloudy skies, still some flurries and some very light snow showers. And we'll go ahead and show you here this morning and kind of break it down for the entire day today. The morning drive, again, a mixture of snow, sleet, and probably some rain here in the city. Temperature of 32 degrees. By noontime, should be all light snow, 32. And when you head back home here for the evening drive, some flurries and cold. Temperature right around 31 degrees. Go back to a futurecast here. We'll take it through the night tonight. And again, nothing major. There is going to be another trough coming down, so I do expect some additional flurries and snow showers here tonight. We'll stop it at midnight. And again, you can see a lot of flurries coming down across the area. Overnight tonight, Could see a dusting, maybe a half-inch of snow, and that should be about it. So I think the total accumulation here altogether, again, places like Lafayette, Kokomo, the Atlanta area, perhaps Muncie, 1 to 2 inches of snow, and here in the city, maybe up to an inch, but probably under an inch of snow, especially in grassy areas, and only a dusting the farther south you go. Evening forecast here, 5 o'clock, flurries, temperature 31. By 10 o'clock tonight, still some flurries around. 10 o'clock, temperature down around 30 degrees. Tomorrow, things will improve. I think we'll see some morning flurries here on Thursday, and then as drier air comes in, might see a little sunshine here by late tomorrow afternoon, and definitely in our 5-day outlook, Friday looks pretty good. A lot of sunshine. Friday's high temperature will climb up to around 38 degrees, only 30 tomorrow for a high, and then Saturday, the better of the 2 days this weekend, mid-40s. Rain comes in Sunday into early on Monday.
Okay, in all this weather, we should mention once again a delay. Randolph Central School Corporation in Winchester, they are on a 2-hour delay, and there's no AM kindergarten there.
You bet. If we get more, of course, we'll pass them right along to you.
Yes.
A British sailor is home after breaking the record for sailing around the world solo. 28-year-old Ellen MacArthur received a hero's welcome Tuesday. MacArthur and her 75-foot trimaran sailed across the imaginary finish line between France and the south coast of England Monday after 71.5 days at sea. During the 26,000-mile voyage, she slept an average of 30 minutes at a time and only 4 hours in any one day.
Incredible. Well, Denver International Airport has a problem. Apparently, these furry creatures, the airport officials there say the rabbit population is out of control and they've been forced to hire an exterminator. The bunnies are hanging out in the parking lots and some have been chewing through wiring on cars. So far, there have been 10 complaints. Traps are now set around the airport and they appear to be working. More than 700 rabbits have been caught.
And that's just the first litter. Oh man.
It's true. They do multiply.
Quickly. Many people who work in radio and television have distinct voices.
Yes, this morning, Dick Wolfsie's segment features a voice that many of us will recognize.
There's a story behind the 7th best-selling album in the nation this week.
It may be the most recognizable voice in all of radio.
And the reality became grander than his dream.
And for baby boomers like Pete Battistini, it was more than just a hit with him. It was off the charts.
They became celebrities in their hometown of Gary.
When the countdown is on, you hear Casey's voice. He has developed it to a point where he becomes a master storyteller.
The Jackson 5.
Able to pause in the right places and just emphasize in the right way. And it just, it's just, you can't turn it off when he's telling a story.
Casey Kasem has been on the radio for more than 35 years. But does anyone have a record of it?
I've got every show here in chronological order leading up till sometime in 1989 when they discontinued distributing the program on records.
Pete Battistini has every record. The original show began on reel-to-reel tapes, each one sent to participating stations, but that was cumbersome and expensive.
They found that these were even cheaper, and the stations didn't have to send these back. They were able to keep them, and they could do whatever they want with them, and that's, where I came in.
Pete believes his collection is unique in the world, so when producers wanted to do a retrospective of the 80s...
Casey called me and asked me if he could borrow copies of my shows because he didn't have access to them. They couldn't find them.
This song debuted 8 weeks ago at number 38.
Pete's collection was not always complete, so his wife Ann stepped in.
She called the source himself, Casey Kasem, and she told Casey, said, he's got every show except one. Do you have this particular show? He said, let me check. If I have it, I'll send it to you.
Isn't that great?
And lo and behold, so this is actually a show from his collection.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
For Pete Battistini, listening to Casey Kasem is a walk down melody lane. We all thank Casey for enriching our lives, just as he often thanked us.
Heard coast to coast and around the world on great radio stations like KUDL, Kansas City, WYFE, Indianapolis.
I'm Dick Wolfsie for 24 Hour News 8.
And here's the book for you. If you're interested in it, you can get it at Amazon.com. And I think every guy that's ever worked in broadcasting wishes he had Casey's voice.
Oh, yes. I remember listening to his Top 40, too.
Yeah.
Imagine that. But this book is incredible.
What year would you say you first remember?
1990? Back in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have the big hair and do all that stuff?
I had the very big hair. Used to get perms and tease it and all that stuff. I'm from Jersey. What can I say?
Yeah, I had big hair, too.
Back in your day, too.
Yeah. Investors are staying on the sidelines right now
as the markets make some small gains during light trading.
For generations, bread has been vital to life, health, and happiness. The fiber and nutrients in Aunt Millie's whole grain breads are necessary to keep your family healthy and to reduce the risk of heart disease. Put bread back where it belongs, at the heart of it all. Come home to Aunt Millie's bread. Honest to goodness.
Hello, 21st? You are not going to believe this.
Oh, I'd believe it. That's why we give you more auto coverage than any leading company.
And at 21st, new customers save an average of $300. 21st Century Insurance. Good people to call. Call 1-800-211-SAVE.
Hey man, want twice the fun? Get coastal with 2 seafood favorites at Long John Silver's.
Gotta get away from here.
Introducing our fish and shrimp treasures combo. Plum butterfly shrimp, tender, flaky fish tossed together with fries, hush puppies, and a cold drink. Just $4.49. Want the best of both worlds? Get coastal at Long John Silver's.
The problem? We pay tax on every car and minivan left on our lots March 1st. The solution? Your Chrysler dealer's February tax slash, where you can get 0+, 0% financing, plus up to $2,500 in combined cash allowances on select models, like the 5-star crash test rated Pacifica. And that's in addition to our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. The February tax slash, only at your Chrysler dealer.
It's Dora's brand new live Pirate Adventure Show. On sale now. Charge by phone or visit Ticketmaster.com.
Good morning. Not much selling or buying, but a positive close for the markets. The Dow finished up nearly 9 points Tuesday. The Nasdaq tacked on 4, despite some movement in the chip sector, and the S&P gained half a point. A lot of money stayed on the sidelines ahead of Cisco's earnings report, which came after the closing bell. It's widely viewed as a barometer of how much companies plan to spend on information technology. Cisco's earnings of 22 cents per share, exactly what Wall Street had been predicting. Watch the tech sector in reaction on Wednesday. Ahead of the Cisco numbers, some chip stocks generated buying interest. One of them is Intel, a component of both the Dow and Nasdaq. Texas Instruments, which turned in some good numbers of its own last week, gained, as did Altera. Microsoft is making a move into the antivirus software market. It's buying Sabari, a competitor of McAfee and Symantec, both of which were lower on the news, amid fears Microsoft platforms may soon be equipped with an in-house virus protector. IBM is introducing a new server that's aimed at small businesses. It will retail for less than $5,000, turf that's long been defended by Hewlett, Packard, and Sun Microsystems. Pfizer gained nearly 4%, announcing promising test results on a new drug aimed at fighting gastrointestinal cancer. More damaging testimony Tuesday at the trial of former WorldCom chief Bernie Ebbers. His former CFO saying Ebbers ordered the company to keep 2 sets of books and demanded accountants massage corporate numbers monthly. Crude oil futures rose just 12 cents per barrel Tuesday. They remain in the $45 range. Amongst earnings reports we'll watch today, Adolph Coors, MetLife, and Applebee's restaurants. Check business news 24/7 at cbsnews.com. I'm Ed Crane, CBS News, New York.
Just ahead now on this Wednesday, February 9th. A confession in Missouri leads to the discovery of bodies in an eastside Indianapolis home. Gene Rodriguez is at the scene this morning where the digging has been suspended.
At 6:06, how Israelis and Palestinians plan to approach their new peace plan agreement. Then at 6:24, our Money Talks reporter rats out people who cheat on their taxes.
See why CBS Thursday is America's best night of television. It's CSI Gone Wild.
Look at those claw marks.
Wait till you see how they hunt down a killer.
You're actually autopsying a bear.
It's the first time for everything. A new CSI, then.
Why take the mail carrier? Do you think you could get him to talk to us? You need to tell me what happened.
She certainly fooled a lot of people into thinking she was an angel.
Leave her alone!
A new Without a Trace after a new CSI Thursday.
I managed a Speedway store for 7 years. My wife works for Speedway, and so does her brother. Speedway is a great place to work because we all take pride in giving the best to our customers. Like our coffee. We start with whole coffee beans, ground fresh, right before we brew it. And right now, any size coffee or cappuccino is just 89 cents. You might call it family pride, because you won't find a better cup of coffee anywhere. Great values, great prices. You've got my word on it.
We're on your way, the convenience stores
love Speedway.
Now at Speedway, new Hershey Take 5 candy bars are 2 for just $1.
Still haven't come over to Comcast? Well, we're dropping in with 3 great services and 3 great ways to save. Now you can choose Comcast high-speed internet, Comcast digital cable, and our new home telephone service. Choose all 3 for the best savings with the Comcast value package. Call now and your first 3 months of any of these Comcast services are just $33 a month. Or choose all 3 services for only $99 a month and get free installation. And as a bonus, get 3 months of premium channels like HBO for just $5 a month. For savings, convenience, and choice, call 1-888-COMCAST.
Can't find the new Chevrolet you've been looking for? Well, you'll find it at the all-new Andy Moore Chevrolet. In fact, we just received a special factory shipment of new Cavaliers, so you can buy a brand new Chevy Cavalier for only $89.90. That's right, a new 05 Cavalier for only $89.90. We have over 40 at that price in stock. Or get a new Chevy full-size pickup for only $12.09. Either way, you'll find the new Chevy you want in stock at the all-new Andy Moore Chevrolet.
Next on News 8.
Police have cordoned off this East Side home. They remain on the scene. I'll tell you what they're looking for in a live report.
Insurgents continue to try and disrupt Iraq's new government from improving its own security force.
With a handshake, Israelis and Palestinians are ending 4 years of fighting, but one terror group says it's not bound by the agreement.
Wake up, Indiana. It's Wednesday, February 9th. Winter is returning to Indiana as a messy mix of rain, snow, and fog, and it's going to make it slow going during the morning rush.
That's right, and surprisingly, that's only causing one school delay. Randolph Central School Corporation of Winchester, 2-hour delay, no morning kindergarten. But let's check in with Randy Ollis for a look at today's weather.
Yeah, Dave and Joy, I tell you what, not a major storm coming through. It's a fast mover, but it is producing rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The accumulating snow here north of the city once again. Let's go to forecast a Viper. It looks like Viper's doing a great job here in the snow machine. And where you see the blue on the map, that is plain old snow coming down right here across the metropolitan area. The pink area, that's a combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. But we'll kind of zoom in up north, up around Lafayette. You've had some moderate snow. It's snowing out around Kokomo, the Atlanta area, just over an inch of snow on the ground. In Muncie, you did have a mix, but in Muncie now that has changed over to all snow as well. And I think places up north there from around Lafayette, Kokomo, Tipton County, perhaps Muncie, could see a quick 1 to 2 inches of snow before it does kind of taper off. Let's go to the computer. We'll show you the overall picture. And again, there's a wave racing in across the area. Temperature is very critical. You can see downtown we're 32, 31 in Noblesville, and with the snow coming down in Muncie, temperature right at 30 degrees. Our first forecast here today, 8 o'clock this morning, a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow, temperature around 32. By noontime, it should be switched over to all light snow, temperature 31. And at 4 o'clock this afternoon, some flurries, a chilly day, 4 o'clock temperature, 32 degrees.
We should mention, by the way, that the city's been out all night, and the roads are covered with salt, so they have a good chance to keep it as a slush as opposed to ice.
Exactly. Very prepared.
Yeah. Investigators say they have found human remains in the basement of an East Side home. This as they continue to investigate a possible triple murder.
News 8's Gene Rodriguez joins us live from that house on Linwood Avenue with more on this investigation. Gene?
Dave and Joy, police have put crime tape around this home on the city's east side. They also remain on the scene, as well as the mobile crime lab parked right across the street. That's because they are looking for bodies inside of this home. It all started with a traffic stop for speeding in Missouri, and it led police to this home. 29-year-old Kenneth Allen Jr. and his sister, 18-year-old Carrie Allen, are behind bars in Missouri. They were stopped for speeding, and while in custody, police say Carrie Allen later admitted to killing, dismembering, and burying her mother, Sharon Allen, and grandparents, Leander and Betty Bradley, in the basement of this house in concrete. Now, late Tuesday afternoon, police combed through Betty and Lee Bradley's home on Linwood Avenue, looking for clues, evidence, anything they could find. Neighbors watched as cadaver dogs and special radar equipment helped in the search for the remains and evidence. Neighbors say they hadn't seen the elderly couple in months, but had seen Carrie and Kenneth Allen walking in and out of the home. At least one neighbor says that he saw the two with a jackhammer and shovels.
We believe there is as many as 3 people buried in concrete in the basement of this residence based on the information that we've received from a police department in Missouri.
Now, detectives have also combed through a Noblesville apartment where Carrie Allen lived with her mother, Sharon Allen, and police have already walked through that home to make sure that there are no bodies there, but they are waiting for a search warrant to collect potential evidence. Later this morning, we should be hearing from more investigators, and we should be seeing them here on the scene. Also, they say that they have found human remains. We'll probably see a team of anthropologists here at this home as well. Reporting live from the city's east side, Jean Rodriguez. Now back to you.
And Jean, police do have a presence there, though, and they've stayed all night. Is that right?
There are several officers on the scene. In fact, we just saw a shift change here at the home, so they stayed overnight and are doing this all in shifts, as well as the folks inside that crime lab.
Got it. Thanks very much. Jean Rodriguez reporting.
Well, neighbors in both Indianapolis and Noblesville are shocked that such a vicious crime could happen so close.
It's just sad.
What do you think of this?
I think it's terrible.
It was scary because I have 3 little kids, and like I said, I just moved in, and this stuff doesn't happen here in Noblesville. I mean, I've lived here all my life, 32 years almost, and I mean, it's happened a few times, but not right next door to me.
She's just really nice and really sweet. I can't believe that she's gone.
Well, we'll have much more on the investigation later on Daybreak, as well as throughout the day on 24-Hour News 8.
President Bush continues to push his second-term agenda today with a conversation on class action reform. Congress is currently considering legislation that would move most large lawsuits from state courts to more stringent federal courts. The president took a road trip Tuesday to push his plan for overhauling Social Security. He also urged lawmakers to show discipline as they consider his budget and propose cuts to 150 federal programs. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is in Belgium today, pressing ahead with her European fence-mending trip. During a speech in Paris Tuesday, she called for a new chapter in transatlantic ties. Rice once called for the U.S. to punish France for its opposition to the war in Iraq. She and the French foreign minister pledged Tuesday to give relations a new start and emphasize areas of cooperation. Today, Condoleezza Rice visits headquarters for the European Union and NATO.
For the first time in his 26-year papacy, Pope John Paul II is missing public Ash Wednesday prayers. The Pope remains in a Rome hospital where he's recovering from the flu and breathing complications. American Cardinal James Stafford is presiding over today's service at St. Peter's Basilica. The Vatican says the 84-year-old pontiff's health continues to improve, but doctors have persuaded him to stay in the hospital to be on the safe side.
Militants are stepping up their assault on Iraq's security forces. The U.S. military says 21 people died Tuesday when a suicide bomber set off explosives outside an Iraqi Army recruitment center in Baghdad. At least 16 of the dead were in fact Army recruits. Militants led by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi are claiming responsibility. In Beji, another oil pipeline is sabotaged as well. Several pipelines have come under attack recently. The United States wants Iraq's security forces to assume a greater role once a newly elected government takes office. New on Daybreak this morning, an Indiana National Guardsman who received a Purple Heart for combat wounds has been charged now in the death of an Iraqi citizen. Corporal Dustin Berg of Ferdinand, Indiana, also faces charges of false swearing and the wearing of an unauthorized award. An Army spokeswoman says the alleged incident occurred in November 2003 south of Baghdad, but no further details are being released. The 21-year-old is scheduled to appear in court for a hearing Thursday at Fort Knox, Kentucky, to determine whether the case will proceed to a full court-martial.
Israelis and Palestinians are taking a wait-and-see approach on a ceasefire agreement. With a handshake Tuesday, Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon and Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas entered a truce to end 4 years of violence. The agreement is supposed to lead to a resumption of peace talks. Residents say they hope it works, but the militant group Hamas says it's not bound by the deal and is waiting to see what Israel does next.
Pacer is an all-star this morning, and Notre Dame pulls off the upset. Chris Widlick has those stories.
Good morning. It's been a forgettable season so far, but not even a 15-game brawl suspension can keep Jermaine O'Neal off the NBA All-Star team. The Pacers superstar named to the Eastern squad for the 4th straight season. An All-Star game will tip February 20th in Denver. Closer to home, high school hoops last night. Girls sectional action underway. 4A #1 Hamilton Southeastern against North Central. That's Brianna Bass hitting a 3. She had 16. Back for Southeastern's Kylie York, the baseline J. She had a dozen. It's all tied up at a half. big ball game and a great finish. The Panthers would work it inside to Amber Harris. She's had a few jams earlier this year. 21 points for Amber late in the game. North Central's Alexis Jennings, the layup, the foul, and North Central beginning to smell the upset. Amber Harris puts the capper on this one, nearly gets the dunk, and North Central stuns the state's top-ranked team in the first game of the postseason, 62-52. Men's round ball action, Notre Dame hosting 20-0, fourth-ranked Boston College. Pike's Chris Thomas, who had a huge game, finds Chris Quinn into Torrin Francis for the dunk. That's the way things went for the Irish all night long. Under 5 minutes left. Notre Dame by 3. Cullen falls for 3. He had 23. The fans celebrate on the Joyce Center court. The Irish get it done 68-65. Meantime, number 1 Illinois beats Michigan in Ann Arbor. The Fighting Illini, the nation's lone unbeaten team. That's all sports for now. I'm Chris Woodlick. Have a great day, and we'll see you again a little bit later tonight.
Romeo Crennel is now the head coach of the Cleveland Browns just 2 days after helping the New England Patriots win their 3rd Super Bowl. Crennel was the Browns' defensive coordinator back in 2000 before spending the last 4 seasons in that same capacity with the New England Patriots.
Several people are hospitalized this morning following a car bombing in Madrid, Spain. Who's claiming responsibility?
And an explosion in a coal mine in Russia kills 17. What caused the blast?
And in weather here on this Wednesday morning, a real mess out there. We have a combination of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and there it is here, much of central Indiana. This will kind of taper off here later today as cold air comes down, but until then, watch out for some slushy roadways. We'll tell you how cold it's going to get. The forecast is next.
La 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 la.
Now, here's your chance to win. Did you hear me singing there? Oh, how did it sound?
Very good.
Thank you. I didn't realize we have this, but here's your chance to win tickets to the Boat Sport and Travel Show, and you don't have to sing to get them.
$185. Now just $185 a month. That's all it takes to own a new Kia Optima during the Ray Skillman Kia South and East tax sale. That's $185 a month to own Optima at the Ray Skillman Kia South and East tax sale.
Yes, only $185 a month.
$239. Now just $239 a month. That's all it takes to drive a new 2005 Kia Sedona during the Ray Skillman Kia South and East tax sale. That's $239 a month to drive a new Sedona at the Ray Skillman Kia South and East tax sale.
Yes, only $239 a month.
Discovering Chimpanzees, the remarkable world of Jane Goodall, now at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis.
It's here, Love Furniture and Design Gallery's Winter Inventory Reduction Sale. Find savings of up to 55% on floor samples, discontinued, and returned merchandise throughout the store. It's the best time for the best prices at Love Furniture and Design Gallery just north of West 86th Street on Scienceville Road.
Hyundai is clearing inventory during Indiana tax time, which means you could get up to $4,000 cash back or 0% APR on select models for a limited time. And our top-to-bottom commitment to quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. So go directly to your Hyundai dealer through February 28th for Indiana tax time savings with up to $4,000 cash back or 0% APR at Hyundai. Get up to $4,000 cash back or 0% APR during Indiana tax time at Hyundai.
Heating problems? Call Dial 1 and we'll diagnose any problems with your home heating system absolutely free. And if necessary, get rebates on new equipment up to $1,295. Some restrictions apply. Free diagnosis with repairs.
This portion of the news brought to you by Honda.
Good morning. It's just about 6:13. We're at 32 degrees on this Wednesday, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Snow, sleet, rain, fog. Depending on where you live, you might have all of the above. We do have some delays to tell you about. All up in Randolph Central School Corporation, Randolph Southern School Corporation, and Randolph Eastern School Corporation. You are all on a 2-hour delay with no morning kindergarten. At least 17 people are dead this morning following an explosion in a Siberian coal mine early today. Russian government officials add 4 people are hospitalized, 9 others are missing. Officials think the blast was caused by a buildup of methane gas. They say 30 workers were at the shaft at the time trying to set up bulkheads to isolate a fire that broke out. More explosions have been heard coming from the mine hours after the initial blast.
At least 10 people have been hurt in a powerful car bomb explosion in Madrid, Spain. The bomb went off early this morning near a convention center where the king was scheduled to inaugurate an art show later today. Spanish authorities say there was a phoned-in warning in advance of the blast from a caller claiming to represent Basque separatists. An emergency services spokesman says all the injuries were from glass cuts and were not serious.
It has happened again. An American Airlines captain says a laser beam flashed into his jetliner's cockpit Sunday as the plane prepared to land at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Doctors found no permanent damage to the pilot's eyes. The first officer landed the plane safely. An American Airlines spokesman says the airline is working with Federal Aviation Administration and Air Traffic Control on this investigation. Let's turn it now to weather and Randy Ollis.
Yeah, Dave and Joy here. Dale Chandler just walked in. He said the dividing line is 71st Street on the city's north side there. North of that, it's snowing very heavily right now. Downtown, we have a combination of snow, sleet, and rain. So really a messy Wednesday morning. Let's go ahead and start by showing you here forecast date Viper. Viper really doing a great job here. This is our snow machine. And again, areas north of the city is pretty much all snow right now. In fact, we had reported about 1.25 inches snow up around the Atlanta area right there, the northern part of Hamilton County. And again, this rain snow line here is heading to the south. As cold air does come on down. Snowing at Kokomo, snowing up around the Muncie area, Harper City. And again, up and through here, probably going to see about 1 inch to 2 inches of snow. As I mentioned, as Dale came in here, 71st Street areas north of that here, it has switched over to all snow. Now, farther south we go. You get down around Bloomington, further south. That is plain old rain here. Susan Wagner just called in a little bit of rain in Bloomington, and the rain goes down to around Bedford area and some light to moderate rain. All this precip here is heading to the east-northeast, about 25-30 miles an hour. Let's go to the computer. We'll check out the satellite radar composite again. A little wave quickly moving on through where you see the pink on the map. That's a mixed bag of rain, sleet, and snow. Snow up north, rain down south. The airport saying freezing rain and snow right now. Temperature 32, a north wind at 5, wind chill 27, and the pressure 29.98, and it has been rising during the past hour. Temperatures here very critical. Noblesville 31, snow 30 at Muncie, 27 Kokomo, Lafayette. They've had some moderate snow. Temperature 26, 38 down around Bloomington. And 9 o'clock this morning, I think by 9 o'clock, that rain-snow mixture off to our east and south here across Marion County, that should be all snow. It's going to taper off to light snow and flurries here as we head through this afternoon. We'll stop it here by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock this afternoon. Again, clouds, still some flurries around, and we'll keep those snow flurries going here through tonight into early tomorrow morning. The morning drive here, a mess. Watch out. The snow is accumulating up north here. Slushy roadways. Morning drive, mixed rain, sleet, and snow. Temperature 32. By noontime, it should be all light snow, 32. And by the evening drive here back home, some flurries and cold. Temperature right around 31 degrees. Back to the maps we go. Futurecast here. We head through the overnight hours. Little trough going to come on down, so I do expect the flurries and snow showers to continue through tonight into early tomorrow morning. Here it is by midnight tonight. Some light snow coming down. I think overnight tonight a dusting, maybe a ½ inch in some spots here, but altogether the snowfall potential, places like Lafayette, you get up to around the Atlanta area, Kokomo, Tipton, Muncie, perhaps a quick burst of 1 to 2 inches of snow. Here in the city, could see up to 1 inch in grassy spots, and further down to our south here, maybe a dusting. That should be about it. So our evening forecast here, 5 o'clock, some flurries, 31 degrees. By 10 o'clock tonight, down around 30, and still some flurries. Things improving tomorrow, I think, during the day Thursday, some morning clouds and flurries. But as we head into tomorrow afternoon, we should see perhaps a little afternoon sunshine. And next 5 days here is going to be cold. Tomorrow's high near 30, sunshine 38 for a high during the day on Friday, and then back into the 40s here. Rain comes in day for Sunday into early on Monday. Again, Indy North, where Dale mentioned the northern part of the county there, it's starting to accumulate on the roadways in spite of the salt. So again, watch out for some slushy, wet roads this morning.
Yeah, and it might be a little tricky in spots, but I can tell you that the city's been out all night, and the state as well, and there was plenty of salt on the ground.
Yeah, they've done all they can do. Now we'll just wait and see. But again, he said it is accumulating here in the city's north side.
All right, we'll keep you updated on that. Many people who work in radio and television have distinct voices.
They do. Yes, they do, Dave.
Yes, Randall. And this morning, Dick Wolfsie's segment features a voice
many of us will recognize. Okay.
There's a story behind the 7th best-selling album in the nation this week.
It may be the most recognizable voice in all of radio.
And the reality became grander than his dream.
And for baby boomers like Pete Battistini, it was more than just a hit with him, it was off the charts.
They became celebrities in their hometown of Gary.
When the countdown is on, you hear Casey's voice. He has developed it to a point where he becomes a master storyteller.
The Jackson 5.
Able to pause in the right places and just emphasize in the right way. And it just, you can't turn it off when he's telling a story.
Casey Kasem has been on the radio for more than 35 years. But does anyone have a record of it?
I've got every show here in chronological order leading up till sometime in 1989 when they discontinued distributing the program on records.
Pete Battistini has every record. The original show began on reel-to-reel tapes, each one sent to participating stations, but that was cumbersome and expensive.
They found that these were even cheaper, and the stations didn't have to send these back. They were able to keep them, and they could do whatever they want with them, and that's, where I came in.
Pete believes his collection is unique in the world, so when producers wanted to do a retrospective of the 80s...
Casey called me and asked me if he could borrow copies of my shows because he didn't have access to them. They couldn't find them.
This song debuted 8 weeks ago at number 38.
Pete's collection was not always complete, so his wife Ann stepped in.
She called the source himself, Casey Kasem, and she told Casey, said, he's got every show except one. Do you have this particular show? He said, let me check. If I have it, I'll send it to you.
Isn't that great?
And lo and behold, so this is actually a show from his collection.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
For Pete Battistini, listening to Casey Kasem is a walk down melody lane. We all thank Casey for enriching our lives, just as he often thanked us.
Heard coast to coast and around the world on great radio stations like KUDL, Kansas City, WIFE, Indianapolis.
I'm Dick Wolfsie for 24 Hour News 8.
And Dick says, hey, you can get the book at Amazon.com. There it is for you, and should make interesting reading. Need some extra money? You can make some by squealing on tax cheats. Details next. Now, here are today's birthdays and anniversaries, and we will be right back.
I'm Wish TV's Eric Halverson. I traveled to Sri Lanka to see how your donations are helping tsunami victims. But when I got there, I discovered this devastation is only a small part of a much larger crisis.
Our customers are people, if we don't deliver the product, they'll die.
The people we traveled with are on the front lines of a battle that takes 25,000 lives every single day. I'll show you how their organization helps and why their ultimate goal is to put themselves out of business. Tonight at 6 on 24 Hour News 8.
It happens only once a year, and only in Indiana. The Indiana Tax Time event. Race down to your Honda dealer now, and you could get a great deal on all new Honda models in stock. Do it now, because during Indiana Tax Time, you can't lose. Now you can get low 2.9% APR financing on new Accords for well-qualified buyers.
Welcome to Our House Furniture.
Come into the Our House store-wide sale.
Our lights are on.
We're awaiting your arrival.
Trust AMCO. AAMCO. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO. Need we say more?
Need a new Buick? Check out Stoops Buick in Plainfield.
The staff at Stoops Buick just made my whole car buying experience so simple and easy. Plus, I was really happy that I could look at their inventory online before I came into Stoops to check out the cars myself.
They are a tremendous dealership, as far as I'm concerned. But I'd recommend Stoops Buick to anybody.
We love Stoops.
Stoops Buick, 1 mile north of I-70 on 267 in Plainfield.